Hello, my rainforest friends. Welcome in or welcome back to my channel. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today. It is so wonderfully appreciated as always. Hello to my new subscribers as well. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope that I can offer you clarity, guidance, comfort, and a little bit of joy with all of my tarot readings here. If we haven't met yet, hello, my name is Amanda, and this is a timeless general pick-a-card reading for the collective today. Timeless meaning these readings never expire, so whenever you come across it, there will be something here to help empower you and align you to your highest good. General meaning not all messages will resonate with everyone, so if you aren't seeing yourself or your situation in these readings, don't make the messages fit. Check another pile, wait for my next reading, or simply move on to another reader. And remember that any outcome discussed in these readings are possibilities only, due to your own free will and the fluid nature of life. So in today's reading, we're going to take a look at what you might need to consider releasing in order to step into new possibilities and opportunities, even your highest good. As we head into spring here on the Pacific Northwest, I'm inspired to kind of do this, well, I was inspired to do this reading about releasing so that we could make room for the new. When we tend to get into our gardens before the spring makes its full appearance, we're preparing the soil, we are weeding out the weeds and making it plentiful and hopefully nourishing the soil to be able to make space for the new growth that is ahead, for the new seeds that we want to plant. So that's what March is going to be all about. This one specifically is about those things we need to release. What to release, to let go of. We'll be picking 3 cards today, thank you, from this pile. I feel like this one was trying to come out. And one more, Spirit. One more, please. I'm going to pull this one. Fun cards. Okay. So for pile number 1, we have flow. For pile number 2, we have freedom. And for pile number 3, we have create. If you would like to pick with crystals, let me add those right now. So for pile number 1, we have Lapis Lazuli. For pile number 2, we have Opalite. For pile number 3, we have the pink Crackle Quartz. So before choosing your pile today, feel free to grab a beverage of choice, and for the journalers in the room, a pen and paper to take notes on the messages offered today. Then when you are ready, use your intuition to choose the pile that is calling to you the most, then head down into the description box below to find the timestamp for your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the flow card. I immediately get ebb and flow from this, and a sense of working with the moon's cycles. You could be somebody who works with the moon's energy, but really attached to or connected to the rhythms of life, the rhythms of nature. You're in that flow. Now, if you aren't feeling that at the moment, this could be something that you are working towards or going to find in this release process. As you release control, release expectations, release even doing and just being. Because I get a sense of really, with the teacup and the book, I really get a sense of taking time out to allow and to almost being open-hearted, open-minded. So I'm going to start with grabbing another oracle card, and then we will get into your tarot. I'm hoping that this will offer a little more clarity and even offer you another message, or just deepen the message that will be offered today. Spirit, okay. We have clean it up with the number 21, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3s are all about connecting with a collective, collaboration, expansion, growth. So isn't that interesting? We're speaking about releasing. And this is about that release. This is about cleaning things up in your physical space, cleaning things up in your mental space. What is kind of living rent-free in your head right now that is not serving you, that is not really providing any benefit to you other than worry and stress. So it's about cleaning it up, cleaning all that stuff that is holding you down, feeling heavy, holding you back, so that we can make room for growth. And that is almost, as we come into spring cleaning, we not only clean things up, we donate things, we kind of go through our closet maybe and do a physical clean out and a clean up of our home. We then open the windows to let all of that fresh energy in and get rid of all of that stale, stagnant energy that has been kind of sitting around for the winter time. So that's kind of a really beautiful addition to your reading here, because it is about, and that is part of the release process, is cleaning out what is just taking up space that is no longer serving a benefit to us moving forward. So let's hop into your tarot now. And we're going to pull 3 cards plus clarifiers. And then maybe another oracle card at the end. We will see where we go. And this is an open reading, so I don't have any positions for the cards, just so that the messages are a little more open for Spirit to come through and share the message that they need to, without that structure of a spread or card positions. So could we take a look at pile 1? 1 card, please, to start. Okay, we got 2 to start. That's okay. So we have the 8 of Swords, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this really gives me the feeling that there are some beliefs that you have about yourself that are keeping you stuck, that I feel you need to look at and release. Maybe certain cycles of behavior, or most likely cycles of thinking, need to be the thing that need to be clarified, cleared up, discovered, explored, because it's not going to allow you to move forward into an energy of flow, into planting new seeds. Just curious, bottom of the deck. Yeah, we've got the 9 of Pentacles and the Fool as kind of bottom of the deck energies, which speak to freedom. 9 of Pentacles is a very self-sustaining energy. It's a self-made energy even, very independent, someone who has put in a lot of work to get to where they're going. And then the Fool energy. And I feel like this Fool is really going to drive you into that 10 of Pentacles energy, where you not only have enough for yourself, but you have enough to help others as well. But in order for you to do that, there is, again, another sense of freedom with the Fool. Because it's time to release. And in order for us to step into that Fool energy, we have to be willing to release. And the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana, can speak to cycles, and cycles that may be out of our control as well. So you know, things change. And they change whether we want it to or not. So that is about stepping into change and allowing change, going with that flow, that adaptability, the adaptability of change, and being adaptable when those changes, when the tide turns is what I'm hearing. So maybe the tide is turning and you are moving into a change, into something brand new, but that requires not only a little bit of risk on your part, but a significant release of some things that you have been doing for a period of time that is making you feel stuck and not able to move. But there is an exit here. So she's not completely trapped. And we can't really see that her arms are tied behind her. So even though it may seem like you are stuck, I almost get a sense that you are not actually. It's all in the mind. So why is that? Why is that thinking pattern happening? What are those limiting beliefs and those things that you tell yourself that you can't? Why? Okay, let's get one more card. One more card for pile 1. What do they need to release? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is very methodical. And bottom of the deck, look at that. You've got your 10 of Pentacles and 3 of Wands as kind of just under the deck clarifiers. But Knight of Pentacles is a very methodical approach to something. So that could be part of some advice too. And maybe even something new for you. As you're feeling this shift and change, and maybe even change for the better, there's a sense of you maybe having some kind of plan moving forward. And moving forward with very methodical, having a very methodical approach, taking your time to digest, process, to take pause when you need to. Because this next leap, I feel, could be into your 10 of Pentacles. We talked about that when we saw the 9 of Pentacles come out for bottom of the deck energy. So you've reached a certain point of success, and now it's getting to that next level. So in order for you to get to that next level, some discomfort needs to be explored. And with the 3 of Wands in reverse, there's a sense of you not believing it, that you can get what you want. There's maybe an exploration into your intentions of your kind of personal intentions and working on those intentions of why do I want this and how do I go about getting it? What are the steps that I need to take? What are the actions that I need to take in order to get into my abundance? What is it that I need to clean up? Where can I find flow? And that allowing. So it's not about pushing forward in, full steam in the direction of your desires. It is about doing it slowly and steadily. And the 3 of Wands again is that expansive energy. That energy of growth, of setting that intention and then taking action towards that intention. But there may be a belief that you might not get there. You might not see that. There's almost a lack of faith. So let's get 3 clarifiers here for the 8 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, and Knight of Pentacles. So let's try the 8 of Swords first. Eight of Swords, Spirit, one card. One card for the Eight of Swords. One card for the Eight of Swords. Thank you. The Hierophant. Yeah, there's something to learn here. And there's something to learn from your higher self even. There's some knowledge. Journaling might be something you might be interested in. But there is a definite sense of you coming into or connecting with a higher power, a higher wisdom, almost your higher self. There's even a spirituality here. Maybe there's something in someone in the external world that you can look to for assistance here. And the Hierophant can speak to traditions, routines. So maybe that's part of the Eight of Swords, is that cycle, that tradition, that routine, and being really almost, that might make you feel a little bit stuck because you feel you can't move from that box. You can't break tradition. You can't break the things that you've been doing because what if? What if something happens? What if I don't succeed? But that might be the thing that you need to move forward, is that taking a little bit of that risk to see what happens, especially if you're feeling stuck and what you're doing is no longer serving you or the goal. Could we get a clarifier now for the Wheel of Fortune, please? Thank you. Yeah, the Moon. So trust the process here. The Moon can be a very confusing energy, shrouded in secrets and mystery and the unknown. We can't really see the way forward because we're shrouded in darkness, but there is light. It may not be the light of the sun, but it is some light. So it's almost as if you have to follow that light, especially when you're feeling confused. What are those things that you know to be true that you can really sink your teeth into when it comes to your faith and hope? What are those practices that you can employ? Bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Swords, which can speak to anxiety, stress, worry. And the King of Pentacles in reverse, who can speak to overindulgence of material things, overspending, maybe even a loss of wealth or income, a loss of some kind of security. And that would make sense. Being in that Moon energy is a very insecure place to be. So we've got 3 major arcanas here. So I feel like whatever you're moving through, whatever you need to, I think the release is going to be quite significant. And it's going to push you into new territory. It's going to push you into discomfort zones. It's going to push you to take some more risks. It's going to challenge your way of doing things, your process, your way of thinking even. And you're going to start to maybe question, what am I doing? Where am I going? Who am I? But it's about, getting rid of and releasing and cleaning up all that stuff that's been holding you back. To be able to get a little curious about what if I charged a little more in my business or for my services? What if I asked for a raise or a promotion because I've genuinely done a great job and have gone above and beyond? Yeah, it's about, just dipping your toe into that a little bit and doing something kind of out of the box. So we're going to look at the Knight of Pentacles now. Knight of Pentacles. One card for the Knight of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. Thank you. The star. Ah, I love that. So this is your wish fulfillment. And even though you might not be able to see it in this process, it's there. It's not going anywhere. It clearly came out in your reading here. Clarified by the Emperor and the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you have to release the idea that you have to do this on your own and that you do not have a say in the outcome, because I feel you do. Even though there might be some things out of your control with the Wheel of Fortune, there are things within those moments, within those challenges, that you can control, shift, change, explore. And I feel this moment, this Moon and Wheel of Fortune moment, is the thing that's going to help you release these, I don't know if they're thoughts, patterns of thinking, ways of speaking to yourself, but I feel it's going to move you into something that is going to allow you to open up a little, to explore a little, even if you're moving slowly. And I feel like there's not only a healing that needs to be welcomed, but there's also confidence, having faith in your dreams, in the things that you want, following your North Star and trusting that, following that light and trusting that, leaning into your leadership, leaning into the things that you want, and not feeling like you have to do it alone. Just because you have help, that you collaborate with somebody or you get help, doesn't mean and doesn't take away from your success in this. So that could be also something that you need to release as well, is the idea that you have to do this all by yourself. You don't. Especially if it's difficult. Especially if you don't really know what to do next or where to go. So let's get a final card for your reading. It's almost like this experience will reinvigorate your faith in your goals and dreams, yourself. And I think that that's kind of the cleanup that's happening here. And you trusting with flow. There's a trust that you'll get to your destination. No matter how fast, how slow, how twisty and turny it is. Spirit, could we get one card for pile 1 to end the reading, please? Strongest energy, please. Strongest energy for pile 1 to end the reading. And if one doesn't come out in this next round, I will pull one. Strongest energy for pile 1. Maybe they don't want to say anything. Oh, wow. So we have surrendering to the journey, release control. And yeah, that is exactly what flow is all about. And I love that she's in a boat too, without an oar, without a motor. This is just trusting the journey. Following that light, literally, at the front of her boat. And she's also in the moonlight as well. So it's this idea of being in the unknown. Of just, this is very fool's journey energy. Where she's trusting her guidance. She's trusting her inner wisdom. She's trusting herself to know that no matter what, she'll be able to handle whatever it is. Even though she can't see what's ahead. She knows that this is the direction of what I want, and I'm going to go for it, no matter how challenging, knowing that I know I can get through this. I believe that I can get to my destination. And she has an owl here on the tree, which I feel is that inner wisdom coming through, that guardian. And joy and delight. is the bottom of the deck, just out of curiosity. Open your heart to joy. So that's that inner light that I kind of picked up in the moon and the star card, that inner light, that joy, what brings you joy, rather than focusing on the things that are keeping you stuck and maybe some things that have happened in the past, and watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. So that could be some additional energy here. I get similar energy with the flow card, because it's, and again, we have tea and books, so very similar to the flow card. But it is about finding those moments of joy and surrender along the way as well, in order to allow, to receive, to not just give your energy and your time to the journey, but rejuvenate yourself, replenish yourself, offer yourself a little bit of healing and time to work through this energy. So pile 1, this was your reading. I hope something here resonated with you. If it did and you would like to receive a personal reading or sign up to my newsletter, see the links in the description box below. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose freedom with the Opalite stone. I mean, this could be an energy that you are coming into, and the reading will get into how we can go about achieving freedom. This could be something that you need to release into. So you might need to allow yourself freedom. And that might be difficult. That might come up, or that might come with some feelings of challenge and difficulty. But with air balloons, I just get this feeling of airiness, of, again, just being and allowing the winds to carry you, to go where your joy is. Having hope and faith as well with these doves. Finding new landscapes along the way. And there's a curiosity in that as well, because there's no fixated destiny. There's no way to really control the air balloon. It's just kind of allowing. Very similar to the first card with the flow card, so that might be something to check out as well. But air too is all about communication, speech, clarity. So freedom of speech could be an energy here as well. You stepping into speaking more about how you feel, what you believe in, what you value. So we're going to get an energy card to start your reading, and then we'll get into your tarot reading. And this could be an energy that you are embodying, or maybe just an additional message for you regarding your reading today. But it definitely doesn't kind of dictate what we're going to be talking about in the tarot. But it could have something to do with it, for sure. Spirit, could we get a card for pile 2, please, to start the reading? Energy card to open the reading, please. Strongest. Thank you. So we have the round and round card. 2 + 5 is 7. So there's transformation here, transformative power here. And I'm just curious, bottom of the deck, we have never-ending story. Round and round, I also get that as well. Like, you feel like this will never end, and you're just going round and doing things again and again and again, maybe coming across the same partner, the same work circumstances, the same type of friendships, whatever it may be, and however that applies to you. It just feels like you can't get out of this cycle, which understandably so, why you chose the freedom card. You want freedom. You want to break free from this. You want to break free from the cycle. You want to break free from this never-ending story. And you're feeling it's time to go. It's time to go. Maybe at a fork in the road. Sometimes these cards are just, they speak. And so those three were really on point. Usually I can't get the bottom of the deck. Usually I can't get three in that make sense one after the other. It's usually just the first card or the second card that kind of clarify these cards that pop out. But yeah, but every time we go round and round and we do the same thing over and over again, or we find ourselves in a very similar situation, even though we're doing this, we feeling like we're going in a cycle, we're learning something new. So we are expanding on that experience every single time. You'll notice that it's not a circle. It is, what do you call that? It's kind of a shell shape where it gets larger and larger and larger. So you could be at a point where this is the last cycle, where you finally learned what you need to learn in order to move on. Or you've gotten to a point where I've had enough, I want my freedom. So therefore I'm making the decision to move on from it. But definitely could be some cycles being broken here. And something that you've been doing for a significant period of time, you want to find freedom from. So let's look at what you have to release in order to get that. Let's look at what's kind of blocking you. Could we get two more? Let's start here. Let's start here, actually. Nine of Pentacles. So this is a card of freedom, a card of independence, a card of somebody who is self-made. So you could be in a job that you are bored with, that you keep going around and around and around, and you don't feel like you're growing. You could very well be under the surface, but on the surface level, you just feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again and not really getting anywhere. And the Nine of Pentacles, yeah, somebody who has seen some success, who has confidence and kind of knows their worth. So I feel like you might be in a good place. And you almost know your worth so much that you don't want to be in whatever it is, because you know deep down that you want better, that you deserve better. Five of Cups and Page of Swords. So there's, and bottom of the deck, kind of clarifying energy. There could be a fear of you walking away is maybe going to create some grief, some sadness, because it's something that you've done for so long, for a significant period of time. And as much as you want freedom from that thing, there is a process that you have to step into, a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of, I don't know what I'm doing, if what I did was right. I don't have enough information to move forward. And I don't want to feel certain feelings when I say goodbye to this thing, when I let it go, when I release it. So as much as you're coming out with, I deserve better and I want better, and I know the hard work that it takes to get better, I also don't have the clarity to take what I've learned and apply it in this new chapter. I don't want to feel any sadness or grief. It's like you want to move on without any consequence to yourself, maybe to others, I don't know. And I so wish, because I know what that feels like. I so wish that was the case, that we could just make decisions and move on without anybody getting hurt, without anybody feeling what we need to feel. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I wish it did. But with freedom comes consequence. And it comes and sacrifice. So let's get a second card now for pile 2. Okay, we'll just take there's too many that came out here. I'll put them at the bottom of the deck because maybe they have some significance here. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, there's lots of things to consider. Maybe an overwhelm of decisions to make. And I just noticed she's holding a pearl. So do you need to make a decision if you're already holding a pearl? Why would you need to choose? But that's beside the point. That could be for somebody here, sorry. But when the 7 of Cups in reverse, it's about, again, coming back to that energy of 7, where it's about transformation. And in order for us to step into that transformation, we have decisions to make. And it feels like you don't want to make them. When we talked about that 5 of Cups and the Page of Swords in reverse for the clarifiers for this, it's like, I know what's best for me. I know what I want and what I'm worth, but I really don't want to feel the outfall of that, because it could be a significant decision. And it's coming out again here, where it's like, I know the decisions that I have to make, but I don't want to make them. Or I'm not ready, and that's okay too. But I think what you have to release is the idea that you can do this without difficulty or discomfort or emotion, because you are a human living a human experience. And yes, you are a spiritual being as well. Spiritual being living a human experience as well. You're going to feel things. You're going to feel things that you like and things that you don't like. With a sense of freedom, there's a sense of openness and kind of an open-hearted energy, a willingness to step into the new and not have any of your chapters written. The future is unwritten in a sense. You're not doing the same things that you used to. And look at that. The Tower, but the Sun. Holy, I'm so glad I pulled those. They did come out kind of flipped over, so I put them at the bottom of the deck because I felt that they had some significance. And they did. Holy moly. So both major arcanas. So yeah, when you come to the decision, I just get such a contrast of energy here. We have complete and total destruction of what you know, what you've been used to, kind of the day-to-day, the status quo, and it's coming down. The foundations have been rocked, whether you like it or not. It's either you going to make this decision or something is going to come in and make this decision on your behalf. Because the Tower is all about change, and it can be unexpected if we are not aware of it. And the reason why things fall is because they were never sturdy to begin with. They were built on false foundations. So when life gets challenging, when things change within you, when growth happens, the things that are not meant to continue on with us crumble away. But look at this. When they crumble, a whole new landscape emerges. You can see the sun. You can see the beauty and the expansiveness now that all of this stuff is out of the way. You can see the light. The light comes in. There's an openness, a freedomness, a happiness, a joy. That cycle is now done. Oh, this is so great. I mean, I'm sorry you're going through this. It's not an easy experience. Absolutely not. But I feel like there's going to be such beauty on the other side of this. So I feel, again, having to step into and accept the idea that this could significantly change your life. And that is a very scary prospect. So not an easy thing to release. The decisions you're making are not easy. But is your desire to change and to remove yourself from situations that are no longer making you feel joyful, is that a good sacrifice to make? Because again, is it going to get better? I don't know. Maybe. If you stay in this, will it improve? Only time will tell. But if it doesn't improve, you might be left with no other choice but to start making decisions that align yourself with that higher good, that worth. And that won't be easy. So releasing the idea that it will be easy, I feel, is one of the messages. Releasing the idea that you can get out of this easy or change. You know, change is not comfortable. Transformation is not comfortable. And releasing the cycles that you find yourself caught up in. Releasing those for good. Okay. Look at that. 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. So look at this. We went from the 9. We had a little bit of discomfort with the Tower and the Sun. The Sun came out and we have been able to level ourselves up here. We've gone from the 9 to the 10 of Pentacles. But we had to get through this discomfort first. And now we're actually living our abundance. We're actually living our worth. We have that prosperity that we were looking for, not just in a monetary sense, but from a spiritual sense. Being able to share that with friends and family. Having everything we need and a little bit more. Look at, oh my goodness. Woo! Ooh, this reading. We have the Page of Wands. And the Star card. Hello. This is lovely. Page of Wands, it's a new sense of curiosity and desire. Taking action in the direction of our dreams and having confidence in that. Not worried about all of the obstacles that we have to get through. It's following that light. Following that thing that is kind of pushing us forward or nudging us forward. Those intuitive hits. That creativity of taking action in those directions of the things that really light us up. And the Star, like you're on your way here. Once you start making that first step, that first decision to step into your abundance and release the things that are no longer serving you, the things that make you feel stuck and kind of in a cycle, unhealthy cycles maybe, or just cycles of boredom, cycles of, I know I want better, I can do better, I am better. Releasing yourself from those cycles will allow you to then open up space to step into your wish fulfillment. Some healing might be required in that process as well. But hearing the call, following your North Star, having faith in that process, having faith in your intuition, if that's what your intuition is calling you to do. My goodness. We actually are going to get official clarifiers now. Bottom of the deck simply just kind of rounds out the story of the top cards here. But now we're going to get clarifiers. 9 of Pentacles. So far, though, holy moly, this reading. I feel like these are both relevant, so I'm going to take them. 4 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, and they're both in reverse. So it's about not being afraid to ask for help, especially when you are feeling unstable, when you are feeling like you don't really know where you're going or what to do. You don't have to do that alone. Pile 1 got a very similar energy, although it was the message was very different. But yes, 4 of Wands can also speak to foundations. Not necessarily in a tower type moment, but it can speak to releasing commitments to things that you thought you once wanted. and not being in a firm foundation, not being set up to feel secure and aligned to the things that make you feel harmonious. And then the Five of Pentacles is not only scarcity mindset, but not getting help when things get difficult. Don't be afraid to open yourself up. And maybe a release of scarcity mindset, release of what you thought you once wanted, but no longer want. It's okay, coming to that reality that I've changed, the situation has changed, I've grown beyond this, and that's okay. Fives can be a difficult energy as well, because it is that bridge between where we are and where we need to go. So there's that difficulty of moving through scarcity mindset. I don't know what's next. And this might cost me a little bit from a financial perspective, because maybe we're losing some kind of income if we switch jobs. If we switch homes, then maybe we have to, put down money for either the down payment or the rent deposit, that kind of thing. And it kind of doubles up on our rent for that month because of all the expenses and all the expenses to move. But it's also dropping the values and the beliefs that are also no longer serving you and serving only to keep you here. Okay, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so with the Seven of Cups, we can really step away from, especially when we're in an overwhelm of decision, there might be a panic to make a decision. But I feel you really have to come into some kind of moment where you realign with your values here. You realign with the things that you want and remind yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this way? And knowing that you're not doing something to harm others. I feel like your intentions are to get where you want to go and to feel joyful and happy and harmonious. So it requires a little bit of nurturing energy, a little bit of patience, and stepping into the power to do so. Knowing that you can do that for yourself. Not having any doubt about what you're feeling. Not having any doubt about what you value. Questioning those values and beliefs. They're there for a reason. Those are your North Stars. What you value and what you believe. Now, saying that, there could be some unhealthy ones that are driving the bus as well. Am I giving too much of myself? And I'm doing that because I value being a good person. But is that, you can help without hindering yourself, right? So there can be some motivations, some intentions, some values and beliefs that can be a little bit toxic, right? So it's about evaluating that as well. And ensuring that we are giving the same amount of time, energy, resources to our own desires and passions just as much as we do for others. So coming back to that nurturing energy that is within you, and that maybe you haven't been doing up until now. Maybe you've been giving too much of yourself to somebody else's dream, somebody else's goal. Now it's time to take that power back and to realign with what you want. How can I nurture that goal? How can I offer myself compassion, kindness, and grace in this moment? So 10 of Pentacles. Let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles. Clarify. Yeah, so you got 2 again. So we'll take 2 because we have room. So we have the 9 of Swords in reverse, which is the release of anxiety, worry, stress, and doing it alone. doing it in isolation almost. So there's a release of that. And then there's an openness to dreams, imagination, opening your heart here. So I feel like in order to get to the Ten of Pentacles, if this wasn't enough, I feel like there is. I mean, either that is the result of the Ten of Pentacles, is that it will allow you to release all of that stress, anxiety, and worry that you've been carrying around. And you're now in this abundant, loving place. You're loving what you're doing. You're loving being able to spend your time and your energy and your money with the people around you. Really enjoying your abundance. Really being able to dream a little bigger. Getting curious, having a little fun, being playful. And also too, if this isn't what you need to get your Ten of Pentacles, I feel like this could be the result. Did I say the result? Yes. So this is either what you need to do to step into the Ten of Pentacles, that playfulness, rediscovering your dreams, imagining and dreaming big, and releasing the stress, the worry, and anxiety that you have and that you've been carrying around, or this is kind of the result of the Ten of Pentacles, where you are stepping into that. So either way, I think we've covered our bases here on what may need to be released. But wow, holy, what a great reading. I mean, difficult, challenging, yes, absolutely. Not going to be easy. And take your time. This doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't have to happen next week or even next month. Take your time. Check in with yourself. Use that beautiful intuition of yours to guide you. Okay. So we're going to get one final card for your reading today. Close it out with one final message for pile 2. One final message for pile 2, please, Spirit. Hello? They're going to get cheeky with me, I know it. Now that I've called them out. Okay, if nothing comes out, I'm just going to pull. This one was kind of flipping out. Here we go. Ooh. So we have ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Yeah, like I said, what you're doing is not easy. What you're doing is challenging. And you're climbing a mountain, so don't expect to jump from what you've been doing into something brand new. This is a transition. This is kind of one step at a time kind of energy. It's about resting along the way as well. And yeah, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a little bit of practice or skill, I'm hearing. And just out of curiosity, I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. We have embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. Again, we have that transformative energy of the butterfly. Emerging from the cocoon and really shining their light and authenticity. We have fogged in as well. Go slow, take your time. So another, I think, is a really good message for you. This doesn't have to be done right now. It's going to take time, especially when the Tower comes in and things feel a little unsettled. That's going to take time to work through. Lie back, rest, and relax. So don't forget to take time out as well. And beginning a new cycle. Wow. So usually I can only get 1 or 2 cards in and then they stop making sense. But this one is like, yep. So it's 4 cards in. You got kind of a little extra, some extra messages there. So yeah, go slow, take your time, follow your intuition, and understand that this is a big deal. It's not going to be easy. It's not something that's you can kind of breeze through. I wish. But if you're stuck in some kind of cycle or loop that you want to get out of, then there's going to have to be some significant changes to be made. But I feel like in the end, you're going to reach the top of that mountain. You're going to ascend it. And you're going to step into really beautiful energy. I keep coming back to that Tower and Sun card. That Sun card is so joyful, and it completely overshadows what was there before. So have no fear. Pile 2. I believe in you, and you should too. I did not need to rhyme, I promise. Okay, that will conclude your reading, Pile 2. I hope something here resonated. If it did, and you'd like to receive a personal reading, sign up to my newsletter. You can see the links in the description box below. With gratitude, I'm sending you all my love and all my luck, and we will see you in your next reading. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Create card with the purple Crackle Quartz. You could be a creative, you could be a maker, you could be an artist right off the bat. You could be somebody that is trying to create something, build something. Maybe from scratch. Maybe you're building a home. And I get like home improvement or home renovations or... So you could be in a very creative energy where you're picking out floor samples and curtains and paint colors and revamping. Or you could just be somebody that is an artist that does this for a living. Yeah, I don't know that there's much more in this that I can really pull out. But this could be an energy that is either... I mean, you simply could just like the card. You could be maybe having some creative blocks at this time, or feeling a little stuck on what to kind of create next or step into next. So let's take a look at your reading now to get a little more information on that, and maybe what to release to open up that creative block. So I'm going to get an energy card now to start your reading. Open it up. It could either be an energy that you are working towards, that you are surrounded by, or simply this could just be a message, an additional message for you or the reading. Let's take a look. Spirit, could we get a card, an opening card for Pile 3? Thank you. Yeah, so go the distance. So this is cheetah energy. It's very fast-moving energy. There's a sense of you almost being at a finish line of some kind. So I almost feel like there's this extra push coming. Just keep going. Because you're almost there is the feeling that I'm getting. So maybe you're overwhelmed with some of the things that you have been doing, or you're trying to create and it's not kind of coming to fruition yet. This card makes me feel like you just have to go a little bit longer, a little bit further. And yeah, you could, there's a speed with the cheetah. And I love that he's going, or she's going so fast that the spots are flying off them. So it's almost like coming back to the theme of the reading, which is about what to release. Maybe there's some things that you have to let go of and release. Again, we'll talk about that in the reading, but that's the feeling that I'm getting here, is that in order for you to go that distance, some things need to be released. So let's look at that. Maybe there's some dead weight. And I mean, that is what the reading is all about, is what it is you need to release, whether it's thoughts, things, cycles, patterns, people, places, I don't know. We will get into it now with your tarot reading. Let's pull a single card now for Pile 3. Just to get the first card for Pile 3. Queen of Swords energy. So this can be also very fast-moving energy, but it's also a very controlled speed. It's not just going willy-nilly. This is about having the information, of spending time to observe and to absorb knowledge or information that you need in order to move forward with clarity. There could be some kind of communication here that is required, or some kind of clarity that you need to obtain in order to continue to push forward. Just out of curiosity, bottom of the deck, 4 of Pentacles in reverse and 10 of Swords. So we'll just pull these out temporarily. 10 of Swords can speak to a painful ending. And 4 of Pentacles can really speak to not being in the moment and maybe having a bit of a rigidity or kind of holding on energy. So what is it that you're holding on to that is maybe blocking your clarity or way forward? Could have to do with something that you've gone through or experienced that has to do with an ending or a painful cycle that came to an end. And you're holding on to this, I think. But it's about, for this I really get, especially paired with the Queen of Swords, is about cutting through it, about observing it and learning from it in order to gain that clarity to move forward. To unbind yourself, unleash yourself, I'm hearing, from what this is. And being in the present moment to understand what's going on. What may be clouding your judgment, what may be clouding your clarity. But there's also a power here as well with the Queen of Swords. She knows what she wants. She knows how to get it. I mean, she's fair. She's very diplomatic about it. But she's not going to beat around the bush. She's going to get straight to the point. So is that an energy that you need to embrace? And maybe you can't embrace that at this time because you don't have the clarity. You're hanging on to something that is maybe preventing you from stepping into this energy. I thought one fell out. Okay. Second card for pile 3, please. Thank you. We have the Star card. Kind of sideways. So, wow. Make a wish, folks. What is your wish? Consider your wish. This is about following your inner light, about healing, in order to really step into this energy of chasing your dreams, following that thing that really lights you up, that wish fulfillment. It's about also kind of hearing the call, and about emerging from the dark depths of our emotions to really embrace chasing our dreams. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, we got that speed again. Ace of Wands, very fast-moving energy, very similar to the cheetah. But it's also very... I mean, they're all going in the same direction, but there's one specific one that this lady is grabbing onto, and that's the one she's going to follow. So is there a focus that you need to come into? Again, we have the Ace of Swords. That clouded judgment is coming out again in reverse, where we can't see beyond the clouds right now. Maybe we can't see what our dreams are. We don't know what that next thing is, what the final step is to get to where we want to go. We know we have the drive, the passion, the will. But it's this process of almost choosing. But we need to have clarity first. So I think we need to release the idea that we have to go fast and now. We'll get there eventually. But it's about recalibrating our direction, recalibrating our focus. of maybe determining what that wish fulfillment looks like, what it feels like, not just how to get there, but what do we want to feel? What do we want to have? What do we want to obtain? Because I think you have the speed, and I think you have the logic, maybe the plan in place, but you might not have the clarity, quite a clear enough vision yet. So we have to drop the speed and that ambition right now. Release the idea that we have to do it now. So there's a sense of patience here, in order for us to really step into that clarity. I'm going to put that up right for now because we're going to get clarifiers here in a sec. We're going to get a third card. Okay. We have the Magician. There is your creator energy right there. You are the creator of your destiny, of your wishes, of your desires. So there's no doubt that you are that, the creator. But again, with the Magician, there's a focused energy here. There's a focused energy, and there's also a gathering of resources. So it's not just snap your fingers and we're there. It's about a process. So dropping, almost releasing the idea that we need to do this quickly. For some reason, speed's coming through. And yes, we can still go the distance and we're almost there. But this almost feels like a pause. We need to, and with the Tower being in reverse, before we can move forward, we have to let a whole bunch of stuff go. And this just isn't about, gaining a new skill or learning something new. This is about the foundations of what we built this thing on. Beliefs, the values, the structure, how we've built it. I feel like you might be considering some changes within this. So rather than trying to maybe have a feeling about changes you want to make and then moving quickly in that direction, I think there needs to be some time to dismantle a little bit first. Maybe there needs, we talked about focus with the star card, about having a singular focus. Maybe there's some scattered energies. Maybe you're in different places doing different things. Maybe something needs to be dropped. Whether that is within the thing that you're doing, or maybe it's multiple things that have nothing to do with each other, right? So by kind of removing some things that aren't serving us, that no longer is serving as a foundation for us, we can free up more space and time for this creation energy, this focus. We can come back into focus. And with the Two of Swords in reverse, it is about that crossroads, not having clarity. And maybe the only way to get clarity is to clear the clutter, so that you can go the distance. You can move with speed and precision and directness and focus. But yeah, there could be some decisions to make, some clarity to gain before we do that. So there's almost a pausing energy happening here. A pause before we move. A pause and a check-in. Pause to digest. So let's get an official clarifier now for the Queen of Swords. Clarifier for the Queen of Swords. We have the King of Cups. So are you doing this with somebody? Interesting. I just got a bit of a relationship vibe here. And these are the two people in the relationship or partnership, if it's a business or a job. this could be a balancing of head and heart, of a realignment of the head and heart, which is maybe why that Two of Swords came out in reverse. So there's a tension there. Let's see, we have the Four of Pentacles again as the clarifier. So you're hanging on to something. I'm coming back to that again. You're hanging on to something a little too tightly. There may be a little too much control, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's not to the extreme or from a manipulative standpoint, but there's almost like a wanting to control your emotions, wanting to not feel certain emotions, maybe a hanging on to a person, a place, a thing that maybe brings this emotional side out in you. I don't usually do this, but I need a clarifier for these two. To clarify the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. Interesting. Knight of Cups. I think you have to release yourself into your emotional body. You've come from such a logical place. I don't feel relationship anymore, although it could be because cups are all about our emotions. But I think if we're talking just about you for a sec, you might be coming from a place of logic and planning and clarity and communication, but there's a piece missing here, and I think it has to do with your emotional self. And in order for you to find some kind of clarity to move ahead and to release the thing that you might be hanging on to, release maybe that control or the expectations that you have of yourself or the situation, I think you have to move from the heart next. So releasing yourself of the logic for a minute and kind of diving into and deepening your relationship with your emotional body. Because I almost feel, even though none of these are in reverse, except for the Four of Pentacles, there's a resistance here. I feel like there's a resistance here. I don't know if that's the case. But because this Four of Pentacles is in reverse, it's almost like I have to maintain a certain way of doing and feeling. And I can't do anything outside of that. So there's almost like a restrictive energy that's happening here. There's so much structure that it's creating friction and tension. Maybe within you, maybe within the process. So it's about being a little more open-hearted about it. Being a little less restrictive. So maybe control is not the right word. Restrictive feels like a better energy for this. Because the Queen of Swords can be very firm. I want this, and this is how I'm going to get it. And there ain't nothing, I've got all the information I need, and there ain't nothing that's going to change that, right? So there's very structured rigidity a little bit. So I feel like it's about releasing that a little bit, coming into a little more flow. I have dog hair flying all over the table here. Okay, so let's clarify the star. Let's clarify the star. We have the Knight of Cups again. So this is about an emotional journey. And in order for you to go to some kind of distance or really create something new here, you not only have to have that clarity, but you have to release the idea that you don't need emotion in this, because I feel like you do. Bottom of the deck is Two of Wands, just to clarify that one. So it's about, making decisions. Again, I get that focus here with the Two of Wands and focus here with the Knight of Cups of not only having dreams and desires and not only approaching it with the logical, but don't forget about your emotional self, the feeling into it. Maybe that's something new for you. So like I said, the logic and the strategy and the structure might have to be released a little bit. And that, again, yeah, might be new for you. So that might be the only thing that will allow you to go that distance and to create something from not only a space of logic and reason and clarity, but also from the heart as well. And it's about looking into or looking out into the horizon and making choices based on that. Focused energy. Daydreaming. Because the daydreaming part could be something that, yeah, you might not be used to. If you are a person who values data, who values doing things in a very structured way, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, it got you to a certain point in life. It's beautiful. But I think there's a calling here to explore your emotional self and maybe do a little daydreaming. Maybe do a little bit of, think a little more creatively, or be a little more playful. So let's clarify this magician. Clarify this magician. I see the card that I think I want. 10 of Swords, my goodness. So, very painful energy here. Why do I feel using your pain, your emotional pain as inspiration is what I'm getting from that. It's very bizarre. Tower's clarifying that. Because I think the creation is not just about the skills and the knowledge and kind of the schooling that we get and what we learn and experience in kind of the technical side of things. And how do we communicate that from a very logical standpoint? But it's also about tapping into, and that could be finding your voice as well, if you are a creative. Finding your voice and tapping into maybe those painful parts to be inspired. Tapping into that emotional self and feel into the work. What do you feel like expressing? What do you feel is the best way to communicate this? Again, I feel like this is very different for you. So that's why the Tower's coming out, because I think there's some kind of guard that's being let down here. There's a lot of boundaries set up with the Queen of Swords. You can't go past this line. Beautiful, wonderful thing to have. But there can be a point where it becomes so rigid and structured that nothing gets let in either. So you're keeping the bad stuff out, but you're not letting any of the good stuff in because the boundaries are so firm. There's no flexibility or flow there. And that's what I get with the Cups energy. Flexibility, flow, playfulness, emotions. And that could be a significant shift for you, where you are pulling down a lot of the foundations that you've built something on. You've done something a certain way for a certain period of time. You can rely on your knowledge, your reason. But I think the release is to kind of release all that you know, to dive into what you don't know. Really interesting reading here, pile 3. So let's get a card now to end your reading. It's almost like you have to master your emotional self to get to the next thing that you want to achieve. What am I doing here? Here we go. Okay. I just wanted to have room for these cards here. So, Spirit, pile 3. Final message for pile 3. And these haven't been flipping out today, so I don't know if it's not the deck to choose, although the messages in the other piles were pretty on point, so I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to allow. Okay, so we have a flipper. Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. We just talked about that. We just talked about this being something brand new for you. And going the distance is like, you can do this. And you're almost where you want to be or where you need to be. It's just a matter of pushing just a little bit more. And not just in the process, but within yourself as well. Just out of curiosity, impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. So again, speaking about that focus. And when the Eight of Wands is clarifying the star, and the star being our North Star, what is that focus? Because I feel like there's something that you're up against, you're blocked. You can't go any further. Could be that Ten of Swords energy, where it's like, do not pass go. You're kind of, you've reached your limit here. So now the workaround is to dive into this feeling self. How do I feel about it? What is the voice that I want to express? The style, the expression. And you also have in the flow, which is everything is smooth sailing. Now, I don't know if that resonates. With the other piles, I was able to get 4 cards in until the cards stopped making sense. But this one feels pretty standard in the sense that just the bottom of the deck, the first card seems to be the only one that really makes sense. Although in the flow could be something for you as well, and that I'm not seeing. But I mean, we did talk about flow and being in the flow of things with the cups being here. And allowing and like almost releasing rigidity here too. You're kind of in this sleigh going for a ride. So it's just, again, that allowing energy. Answering the call, the time is now. Yeah, so interesting, pile 3. You'll have to tell me what you're up to if you feel comfortable in the comments, because I'm getting a sense of not being clear. And I don't know if that's my energy and it being pile 3. I'm kind of getting to the last of my energy to read these, or if that's your energy coming through where there is no clarity or a lack of clarity. You're starting to, while you may be clear, you might not be as well. So I think it's a new approach is what I'm getting with this. And I think it's going to take you to new places. Maybe not physically, but spiritually, emotionally, within the process itself. It's going to take you to new places if you are willing to tap into something a little bit differently. Maybe something more expressive, something a little more imaginative and playful. Something that may be tapping into a little bit of pain that could maybe help others. I don't know. So, pile 3, this is what I have for you. I hope something here resonated. If it did, and you would like to receive a personal reading or sign up to my newsletter, see the links in the description box below. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.